Hello, children. Welcome to another edition of our Sunday Bible series. My name is Auntie Chizaba. How are you doing? Yes, I'm super excited to be here with you today. And we are still talking about the tips that we need to become amazing children and to have a wonderful 2022. You see, last week we started with the story of Daniel, and today we're going to continue with his story, but we're going to be talking about who is your friend. Yes, who is your friend? Most times you say, this person is my BFF, my best friend forever, but we want to look at Daniel's lifestyle and find out how Daniel was able to pick out his friends. Now, in the book of Daniel chapter 1, where we read last week, we discovered that Daniel had a lot of people that were also taken with him into the king's palace. Now, all of them were basically from the same place. They were all people from Israel. But you see that they were all Israelites and they spoke the same language didn't mean that they were all going to be very good friends or best friends, right? Same like in your school, I know that there are a lot of people that are in your class, but they don't all have to be your best friend. Now, what Daniel did was that when he determined in his heart that he wasn't going to corrupt himself with the food that the king served because he wanted to preserve himself for God, he looked for people who had the same spirit with him, who had the same determination with him. So when you're picking out your friends, look for people that share similar values with you. Look for people who are children of God, people that have the Holy Spirit in them. You see, that is the only way you'll be able to thrive. You see, when Daniel decided that he wasn't going to do this, he had people who supported him. They were his support systems, and so they were all able to stand together and pray together. You see, when we go on to the book of Daniel chapter 2, we discovered that there was a time when the king wanted to destroy all the wise men, and the wise men included Daniel and his friends. What did they do? They all came together and prayed together. The first question I'm going to ask you is this: whenever you or your friend have an issue, what is the first thing that you do? The first thing you and your friend should do is to go to God in prayer. That is one of the ways you can know the kind of spirit that operates in the life of your friends. It is important that your friend is someone who their default system is to go to God in prayer. Daniel's friends had this, and you see, when they prayed together, God answered their prayers, and the secret that they needed so that the king would not kill them was revealed to Daniel. Daniel told the king, and you see, the king was super excited that Daniel was able to interpret his dream to him and also tell him what the dream was. The king decided to give Daniel lots of honor. But Daniel remembered his friends. He remembered the people who were there with him, who prayed with him, who supported him. So he told the king about these friends. And you know what? King also promoted his friends. In chapter 3, we could see where his friends also were forced to bow down to idols. We saw that they also had that same spirit that Daniel had, because they said they were not going to bow down to anyone who wasn't God. They weren't going to bow down to any idol. And what happened? The king saw God manifest himself in the fire, and they came out, they weren't burnt, they weren't smelling. No smoke, nothing on their body, no scar was on them. And so I'll ask you, who is your friend? As you go into this week, think about it. Who is your friend? And determine that you would only have friends who have the Spirit of God in them and who you can pray with always. Till next week. Bye-bye.